Good evening and welcome to the Joust. My name is Nagy. I'm joined once again by my slightly delightful co-host, Mr. Liam McNeil. Only slightly delightful.
I've never been described as slightly delightful. It's a big upgrade on what people usually call me. So that's nice. Thank you, Nagy. It's wonderful to be here.
It's wonderful to be here
Great
with
to
you.
see you all.
Yes, with
in
you.
your living rooms, in your kitchens,
Yeah.
sitting out on the dunny, wherever you are, Jousters. It's glad to have you. We are glad to have you.
Used to be just, when people do things on a broadcast, that it would be just in front of the television. They would be in the living room.
Yeah.
But now you can take us wherever you like. As you
Has
said.
it destroyed the connectivity of the modern family, Nagy?
I think it will
Is
possibly.
the nuclear family a dead concept anymore?
It's gone.
And why were they called a nuclear family to start with?
Because it's going to blow
Where'd
up.
that come from?
It's going. They're unstable, maybe. Eventually, the whole
That's pretty
thing's
good, actually, yeah.
going to go to absolute tits. I think. There was never a really strong unit anyway. There was always dysfunction within it.
It was
I
a
think.
different time. The dads had come home from the war and they were all fucked up.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
yeah.
why.
Yeah. It was a fun time to reflect on.
Yeah.
Wars and things. Yeah. And economic despair.
But then the inevitable bounce back and the
Yes.
rise of America as the global power.
Oh gosh.
Of course.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Haven't they doing well?
Doing a wonderful job.
Liam, our musical guest for this week, it gives me great pleasure to welcome one of Newcastle's local sex sirens, Mr. Juicy Dangle.
Hold me now. I'm 3 weeks from the spoon and I'm drinking. There's only 4 games till Vegas round.
Thank you, Mr. Sedangle.
How often would you say in your life that you listen to Creed, Nagy?
No, not much.
No?
Like it got a revival when,
Yeah.
when everyone was started talking about it again, and the videos got shared again, and everyone said, "Oh, I love it." Yeah, you were in that camp of loving it, isn't it?
Oh, I listen to them once a week. I love Creed. I think they're the best.
Yeah.
It was such a good era for Christian rock. You had Creed.
But they're Christians.
You had
right?
POD. That was about it.
Do they speak much about their Christianity? Like you too loves to shove it down people's throats every chance they get.
In general conversation, I don't know. I've never spoken with them. But in their songs, yeah. Higher, can you take me higher to a place where blind men see? That's clearly heaven.
Ah, of course.
Yeah.
Right. I thought it was just because they were in love.
With God.
With God, yeah.
It was very gay for God. There you go.
They don't speak about that much in Christianity, being gay for God, but it really there is. I always found, without getting too religiously skeptical, Liam, there was a part like in if you went to some sort of Pentecostal type Christian church, lovely atmosphere, lovely atmosphere. Everyone's very happy, but then there's like the songs that they sing about. They're like, Jesus, I love you, Jesus, and it's like, should you really? Like, I don't know if that's the kind of love that we're tapping into.
See, I prefer the Catholic love where you go to church,
You're
you
frightened of it,
you
yeah.
say 7 times, I'm not worthy. You go
Yeah.
home, whack yourself in the back a bunch of times with a whip,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you're a good man.
It's you're frightened. If anything, you're living in fear. Catholics built on terrifying.
Fear and shame. Fear and shame are the 2 great motivators in the Catholic Church. I wonder why it's dying out.
Well, I think didn't your mother make you and your sister go and you were mucking up
week.
at church, and then but then you had to go to the park, and when the other children were playing, you were praying.
Basically, the long and short of it was that my sister and I, we were fooling around in church. I think I had a Matchbox car or something, and Mum didn't like that. So after church, she took us down to the local playground, and she made us get on our knees and pray while we watched the other kids mucking around having a great time.
And what did you learn from that experience, then? Matchbox cars?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I've learned don't go to church at all, because if you try and have fun, you'll be punished.
You'll be punished.
Yeah.
That's right. Catholicism.
That's the Catholic way.
Speaking of Catholics, Christians, and everything coming through on our television screens and stuff with the news. Thank you, Dangle. Now, Liam, it's an interesting time in rugby league when we're looking at people like Payne Haas. There seems to be a bit of a transition moving from people that said, I once played for Australia. I currently play for New South Wales or Queensland. But I'm starting to change my allegiances away from the bigger countries out to the smaller countries.
We've discussed this a number of times, Nagy, and I'm going to reiterate what I've said before. I think it's
Please
great. I love to see the superstars representing the lands of their, of their family, the lands of where they're from.
That's how emotional you get.
Can you take over for a sec, Nagy?
So the lands where they're from, you famously said you can be two things.
A person can love two things.
Yeah.
And they always say, you have to be Australian and only Australian. That's it. That's all you can love.
That's just Buzz Rothfield, though.
Well, yeah, and all the people exactly like him, which there's dozens of them. Justin.
Well,
they're everywhere.
It's funny because you have certain people
Rothfield around every corner.
There's people that really want to promote the Polynesian areas, including Samoa, all the Pacific Islands, if you will.
Yeah.
And they're like, we really need to strengthen that game. And then people say, well, they're going to leave Australian team to go play for them. And they say,
not that much. Don't strengthen it that much.
Not that strong.
But then the other thing, the argument you see from these people, again, their profile photos are almost always a jet ski or a Holden V8 Ute.
Sunglasses.
Is that, well, they're not Samoan. And you get Samoan people from Samoa playing for the team. It's like, that would be so bad for international rugby league because they get beaten by 100 points by Australia and New Zealand. No one would give a shit.
If they're from Samoa, and they're born there, they live there, and they're quite good, they end up playing rugby league in Australia.
That's it. They move to New Zealand or to Australia.
Yeah.
So, I think it's great that he's decided to dedicate himself to
we saw a bit of
Samoa.
We saw a bit of this happening with Tonga
the famous, because remember it was Jason Taumalolo.
He was the
led
first one.
the charge.
First big one.
To go across the Tonga.
And that confused people, but that was from when he was before playing for New Zealand, and everyone was quite happy about that. They go, let him go.
Let him go.
If he wants to go play, hey,
just
it's
don't
good
you
for the
fuck
game.
With our origin.
Yeah, basically they're like, oh, now it's an origin question.
Yeah.
Of course, Queenslanders will say, well, if he's playing for Samoa, maybe he shouldn't play for New South Wales. Tino's probably hot on his heels.
And yet they still selected Adrian Lamb the year after he played for the Kumuls. I hated that growing up. But now I understand it, Nagy.
You understand.
I understand the cultural cachet that a National Rugby League team has that an origin team just can't capture.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think it sucks for Australia. It sucks for Kevin Walters.
I've always
good for rugby league, though.
Get that Kevin Walters, the Australian coach.
It only happened like 2 weeks ago.
I know. I haven't seen him in the role, and haven't really.
I thought you said you haven't seen him in general.
I haven't seen him around.
I haven't spoken to Kevin in a couple of days. Who's he coaching now?
I haven't seen him passing in the elevator. Kevin, congratulations on the Australia appointment.
Which job do you get this week, Kevin?
Which job are you going to fuck up this week, Kevin?
And there's been a predicted, a very, very wise internet person seems to have put together a potential Samoan team.
A wet dream Samoan team, if you will.
Such a good team. That's ridiculous. So we'll go through from 1 to 17. We have Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, Brian To'o, Isaac Tungo, Stephen Crichton, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Joash Papali'i, not Josh Papali'i, Joash Papali'i,
Yes, not to be
Jerome
confused.
Luai, Payne Haas, Aaron Clark, Junior Barlow, Sean Bloor, Jeremiah Nene, Tino Fa'asuamaleaui. That's a fucking bonkers team.
Yeah.
And then the bench, you've got bloody Sua Fa'alongo.
Yes.
One of the brightest attacking sparks in the game. Josh Papali'i, Oregon Kafusi, Spencer Lenu. That's a footy team.
That is a footy team. An excellent one.
Team of footy.
Unbeatable. Maybe if they were playing against, I don't know, Australia.
Maybe. Oh.
What would happen?
Well, we had the famous loss to Tonga and Matt Checken. No. Matt Checken got death threats when England beat Tonga.
Was it the England
And he
Tonga
made
game?
the right call. But
Was it Samoan Tonga game? No.
No, it was Tonga. It was one of the Tier 1 nations. I think it was England. And people started sending him death threats and the replays came out. It's like, well, it was the right call.
Yeah,
we didn't like that. That was bad.
Yeah.
But that's a really, really good Samoan team. And I guess one of the knocks, especially on, Samoa and Tonga, the Pacific nations, was that they always struggled to develop halves.
Yep.
But now that you've got these young halves, there's a really good chance, I think, that maybe one day Isaiah Katoa would play for New South Wales and Samoa. And he's the best promising young halfback in the league.
That's right. Yep.
That was always sort of the weak point for the Pacific Islands nations. And now they've got, players coming into the halves and into hooker. Aaron Clark, I think, is very underrated as a hooker.
We're seeing the divorce, finally, of if you're playing for Queensland or New South Wales, you must play for Australia. Obviously, this has happened before with people like Jerome Luai, who has been playing for Samoa, also for New South Wales, and we've sort of been happy with that. But now, moving away from the people that have chosen to play for Australia previously, but is also playing for their country, their cultural country of origin, if you will.
Exactly. I love it. I think it's great. I went down to see the Rugby League Emerging Nations Cup at North Sydney a few months ago. I watched Thailand play the Philippines.
Yes.
I watched Ukraine play the Philippines.
They seem like they have other things.
The Philippines that day? I don't remember.
Ukraine might, that's nice that they've come over here with a rugby league team because it seems like they might have some
none of them were from the Ukraine.
other stuff
going on. It was all just
on.
Ukrainian heritage players.
Why did the Serbians have a team? They seem like they've got plenty going around. No?
I don't know.
Didn't know what you spoke about a Serbian, a possible national team.
Trbojević's.
Well, Trbojević's,
Yeah.
and there was at least one other.
Maybe? Yeah.
Possibly, I don't know. So there's
But I'll tell you what, the Africa United versus Lebanon that day was brutal. It was such a good game of footy.
I'm glad this
They
was
were going nuts on each other.
a well-advertised event, because if you just told me this and I didn't know about it, I would have think
Well, it was tied into the Beer Footy Food Festival at North Sydney. So they already had like a built-in audience. And
Yeah,
was like, let's just play some random nations.
I saw the flyer, but if you just told me all these nations played, I would have thought you would have had. You've had
You were the only one there.
You've had a spell or something, and you've just you've overslept, and you thought this all occurred.
Well,
but
I did think I could drink 20 tins that day, and I didn't come close.
Oh no! But you
I
also
tried my best.
Was it which beer seller that you're on their marketing for? Which NRL player would you like to have dinner with?
Joey.
No, but you
I had a couple of answers.
No, yeah, but who was that for selling? It was selling a type of beer. Bolton.
Oh, I don't remember. I wasn't listening.
No.
I didn't get it. I just saw someone with a microphone. I said, hello, I'm here now.
You're glued to them.
Yeah.
Now, Newcastle. The NRL is not without its controversy. Slam. We go from controversy to controversy, and this is, of course, with the two Titans up the top there, Penrith and the Storm, not to be confused with the Gold Coast Titans, who are down the other end of the ladder.
I don't think anyone confuses anything with the Gold Coast Titans.
Well,
'Cause no one thinks about it.
No one thinks about it. No, not even people from the Gold Coast. They're Harry.
You know, because you lived there.
Yeah, for
you were at ground zero for the Gold Coast Titans.
They didn't care.
What years did you live there? Was
2011.
Oh, okay. So it was in the Titans era because they started.
They came dead last. So did every team at the time. The soccer. They had a soccer team in the A-League. They came last. The Suns. They came last. NRL. They came last. Even their basketball team, the Gold Coast Players. Guess what?
Came last.
They really can't sustain any sort of
Really
continual...
is a heartland
yeah.
for sports.
Yeah, a lot of people, but no one interested in playing sport.
Well, funnily enough, one of the biggest and most impressive junior catchments in rugby league.
Yeah.
It's amazing the amount of juniors coming to the Gold Coast.
It's just because they got the because people say it's like the Miami of Australia. Like it seems like
There's
it's
a suburb called Miami.
There
on the Gold
literally
Coast.
is.
Yeah, we went there.
Yes, yeah. You drive past it. There's a Miami high school.
What's going on here?
Yeah. But it's really they say it's like it's the fun. It's a playground. Australia's playground up there.
Are we the first people in rugby league history to actually end up talking about the Titans accidentally?
Because
no one talks about the Titans accidentally.
Not for any longer than
if they're
4
not
minutes.
coming up specifically, you're not talking about the Titans.
Yeah, what's a Titan? What is it actually? You know what I mean?
It was a character in Greek mythology who fought the gods, wasn't it?
Can't they just
Something like that. Yeah.
That's what Denzel said, yeah.
Denzel said he was a Titan, wasn't he?
Yeah.
A Titan of the industry.
Yeah.
What was the news story, Nagy?
Harry Grant and
Oh, yes.
when the Panthers went down to the Storm recently, Liam, Harry Grant was accused of milking the penalty of running into the player and falling down on purpose.
Now, if you actually watch the replay there, it's quite clear that Moses Leota stepped in front of him.
There was a bit of movement
He was
towards
just making
him,
a step. And he's like, he was making a step that's usual than his larger gait directly in front of where Harry Grant was running.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure why Ivan and Nathan Cleary said, well, we don't know what happened there.
I think
they changed the rules because of Penrith.
Yeah.
This is the very rule that they changed because of Penrith, and the disdain of Penrith to say, we're still going to do it.
Yep. Yeah.
We're still going to do it. You tell us to stop.
Can't
still
do it.
Gonna do it.
Can't
Come
stop
on.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
try it. Can't stop, won't stop. How'd that work out for you?
Yeah.
Ivan?
It seems like another game that Penrith could have snatched away.
Would have, because the kick was a ripper.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did it go through?
beauty.
Did it go through?
Yeah.
Oh, it went through.
And then some. It had some legs on it.
Seems
too.
like it was ballsy for the NRL refs to actually call it against these two.
Yes, it was
Titans
a brave
side.
call.
Because
It was a very brave
It
call.
seems like something that would happen if it was like Penrith or the Storm against a lower team, like the Knights, for
But
example.
not in
but
the high octane pressure of a top 4 battle.
when you're going to upset one of the two big boys in the room. Yeah. So they made the call, and now I guess it's now precedent for the rest of the season, or for at least the next couple of weeks. That's how NRL works. So
Well, you've got more to say on that.
1 week
actually.
at a time.
so they're going
Figure
to
it out.
Is this another crackdown, Nagy?
the crackdown on the full
Crackdown on the blocker?
Excellent.
the blocker crackdown.
The blocker crackdown. It's
yeah.
about time. They already cracked down on it, banned it. Crack down on it again.
They can't disappear, but why? Maybe they should be able.
No, but that's
to
the rule.
disappear.
They can disappear.
They can disappear.
You just have to not be there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty easy, in fact, to disappear.
Maybe-
Take 3 steps anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's so easy to
actively
disappear.
run away from the other players.
It's really easy to disappear in that context.
Could they always just run backwards the same
Absolutely,
direction?
he could do that.
Yeah.
He could have just retreated backwards. He could have stepped in behind the ruck. He could have done any number of things. But what he did do was step in front of an opposing player.
Yeah.
And basically Do you reckon he lost the game for him?
Well, it looks like
He
it.
lost the game for him.
But I think it does.
think he
Yeah,
did.
yeah. 2 points didn't go on the board. Yeah.
We'd love to hear Gavin Morton, friend of the show. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Leota Gate. Are we calling it Moses Gate,
Yeah.
maybe?
Gavin Morton, keen racist, I hear. Yeah, keen racist.
And liberal voter, accused liberal voter.
Well, that's why you two and two go together.
the two go hand in hand.
They do.
The Venn diagram it's just a circle. It's just one circle.
Yeah, Gavin. Like when if we jump on to the next story there, thank you, Joshua. We got Mrs. Brown Butter Chicken. We seem to be signing everyone, Lee. We've got a lot of players.
That is one busy lady, Mrs. Brown.
Leaving the club, so Mrs. Brown has been there with her with the knives and a
Simmering
spoons.
cauldron.
Yeah,
It's like a forever soup. You know, forever soup where you just keep it boiling forever.
no,
Sorry, I
Yeah,
really
it's a
wanted
soup.
to hear the Mrs. Brown song. Have we got the Mrs. Brown song? Mrs. Brown, butter chicken. Mrs. Brown's butter chicken. Yeah.
thank you,
I'm
Juicy.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just really wanted it.
Oh, I was going nowhere with that. Don't
No,
worry.
no, no.
I was going nowhere.
Mrs. Brown, obviously, she's working her heart out to try
I
to get
can't
all the
bloody
players
keep
coming
up
in.
with Mrs. Brown's buttered chicken. What's going
Oh,
on? Who have the night signed? Who haven't the night signed? We were meant to sign the 2 Brisbane hookers. We were meant to sign...
Never spoken of again.
Never spoken of again.
That's how much chicken's flying out the door.
Actually, they're the only 2 I can think of now.
No. So it seems like we might have signed. It's unofficial at the moment, but even people like Mr. Buzz Rothfield himself has
Oh,
gone out,
Buzz is on it.
stuck his neck out and said that he
Oh.
believes that Sandon Smith, the boy from Gosford, has been playing with the Roosters, but now has moved back to reserve.
Bring him home.
Is reserve grade? Yeah, bring him sort of home-ish.
Home-ish.
Home. Bring
Bring
to-
him up the road from home, around the corner.
He's probably equal distance from home now to if you move to Newcastle. It's
He's just
Gosford.
kind of middle. Gosford's
Gosford's
in the middle. I try and avoid it where possible.
I know you do.
Not a great place. Not a great place at all.
Too many roundabouts.
Yeah, a lot of roundabouts.
A lot of roundabouts.
Hills and roundabouts, the Central Coast.
But this comes now, Nagy. I am so perplexed with what's happening with the halves, with the Knights halves and hooker situation next
Yeah.
year. I don't know what the hell's going on.
You don't know?
Cogger and Gamble have been told they can look around, but they haven't been fired yet.
Basically,
We've signed Matt Arthur, who we've barely seen. We've signed Jake Arthur, who we've seen a bit. We say there's Phoenix Crossland's been named at hooker this weekend for some bizarre reason.
Yeah.
There's another signing we're about to touch on. What is happening at the Newcastle Knights Centre of Excellence? Has there been a memorandum of understanding that we only want to sign
It's a
halves and
memorandum
hookers?
of a lack of understanding.
but lack of understanding.
Oh, yes.
Is
Yeah.
the left hand talking to the right? We're really not sure. But where that happens, we're allowed to theorize and scrutinize and make our own.
Just, postulate wildly theories that we think might come true.
Now, a lot of people have been saying that they believe Sandon Smith is coming here as a 9. I am going to stick my big fat neck out and say I don't believe he is. I think he's coming here as a 7. 7 to partner Mr. Brown, not be confused with Mrs. Brown, Mr. Dylan Brown.
He's more of a Lamb Korma guy.
He's going to be playing 6 because if you're paying a lot of money for a player like that, you put him in the position that he plays, not one that he doesn't.
So let's go through the Knights halves merry-go-round.
Yes.
So currently
Yes.
in the squad, we have Cogger,
Uh-huh.
we have Hastings,
Uh-huh.
we have Jake Arthur.
That's right.
We have Gamble Tyson.
Gamble, yeah.
There's 2 more. Oh, no, because we let go Will Price.
Yeah, he's gone.
There was another one in there somewhere, wasn't there? There's another one.
So anyway, we're up to how many? 5 or 6?
5
So
or 6. And then so we got
That's
2
just
that
this
aren't-
year.
We got 2 that haven't been fired. but
haven't
have
been
been
fired,
told
but-
they could look elsewhere.
But we've been told, please look for another employer.
But they haven't been fired.
They haven't
yet.
been fired.
And so we've also signed, looking obviously to sign Sandon Smith at halfback.
That's right.
We've just re-signed. I've just recently signed a young boy from the Dolphins who plays hooker.
Yes, we'll come to that.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Well, a lot
Did
of
Peter
the-
Parr come in just like he's signing everything? He's a busy man. Just
Peter
put something in
O'Sullivan,
front
of
him.
course.
Peter
O'Sullivan, yeah.
Well, wouldn't Peter Parr have to sign off?
They
on
probably,
that?
the 2
Yeah.
Peters have
Oh,
to
yeah.
discuss it, I imagine.
yet?
Yeah.
November 1.
November 1. Yet.
Is that why the current, maybe Phil's just like, I'm going to fuck this team
You
up as
just
badly
wait,
as I
you just
can?
wait. As soon as this season actually finishes, shit's going to fucking roll.
It seems like
exciting.
It seems like a fair bit of shit is rolling currently.
It
It's
is.
just going to keep rolling.
Keep
It's
rolling.
going to like snowball. It's like it's snow shit. You know, it's just going to collect
Like a dung
more and
beetle.
more and more shit.
Yeah. Like a dung beetle pushing it around.
I don't know much about dung beetles anymore. Do you think climate change put an end to that?
I don't know if they were ever around. Are they something that happened here, or they? Is that why we don't
That's
see
all
white
on
dog
movies.
shit anymore?
No, that's because they took the phosphates out of dog food.
I see. Yeah.
But that,
White dog shit.
No.
No, you do. You just
I
gotta
got a
look for
belly
it.
full of white
Start
dog
looking
shit.
in the right places.
What do they do with the phosphate? Why do they take it out of the food? Like,
Probably because of all the white shits
the
around
white
the place.
shits around
Yeah.
there, so that doesn't look
Bad look.
doesn't look healthy.
But for those in the visual medium who are watching, we may be looking at the Newcastle Knights starting halves partnership
Yep.
for next year.
I believe we are.
Tell me that at the start of the season we're going to have Dylan Brown and Sandon Smith. I would have said, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
You crazy person.
They don't play for the Knights. They play for other clubs.
And very many other clubs.
And because the Newcastle Knights have obviously invested heavily in Dylan Brown,
Yeah.
I think they're looking at Sandon Smith as the kind of player that has played, I think, 40 first-grade games. He's played about 40 reserve-grade games. He's 23 years old. That's the
So
kind
much to give.
Yeah, you don't-
That's a young halves pairing you can build around.
You want a young halves pairing, but you don't want an 18-year-old because he's either going to have to be a superstar
Yeah.
or someone that has to take about a year, 2 years to really get used to,
Could have a
basically
Tim Smith on your hands.
directing a team around.
Yeah.
I think it was when Tex Hoy or
Sexy Taxi, yeah.
Sexy
yeah.
Taxi, yeah, or
He played with 5'8", remember?
Phoenix Crossland, one of the two when they were making their halves debut, and then we had David Clement being interviewed, and then he said, "Oh yeah, he's a good kid," and I was like, "That's not what you want to hear from the you should be a
He's a
subordinate
well-behaved child.
child, yeah. Oh, he's definitely a child, and
Yeah.
I don't know, it didn't sound like you want to be frightened of your halfback.
A
You
bit
wouldn't-
patronising.
You're
Oh,
patronising,
David Clement's
yeah.
not frightened of anyone.
No. But you wanted him to at least say, "Oh, I think he's a good bloke, not
Yeah.
a good kid."
I'm not gonna lie.
So you want someone in their early 20s, and if we get these two, we've got Dylan Brown, who's about 25, and Sandon Smith, who will be turning 23, I think. So that's a
Pretty good-looking halves pairing.
Yeah, good-looking man
And
as well.
because you guys
Yeah.
brought up an interesting point earlier as well, that we've got so many aging halves in the game. So when your Ben Hunts, your Adam Reynoldses, all the other
Daly
ones,
Cherry
Daly
Evans,
Cherry Evans,
even Jamal Fogarty, who's going to a new club, but he's already 32. I
Yeah,
think,
so eventually, in the next 2-3 years, you're going to see these guys starting to age out, and all
Yep.
of a sudden, a half like Sandon Smith is going to be hot property.
Hot property, yeah.
Like the television show.
That's right.
Yeah.
What was that about? Was that buying houses?
Real estate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to be
Is it any
confused with-
wonder that the Australian housing market's so fucked, given that half our primetime shows in
Just about
2003
houses.
were just real estate shows?
Yeah.
It was actually about house fires.
Renovating house. Hot property.
A prank.
The hottest property.
It's a prank.
It's fires. It's about tragedies. It really wasn't appropriate for prime time.
No.
No. It was very inappropriate.
It's like that movie, that show Changing Rooms, where they get friends of couples that know each other. They go into each other's houses and renovate.
Destroy the joint.
But yeah, and
lot of
never
murals.
Never be happy
Too many
with it.
murals.
A lot of lime
Yeah.
green. Was Brown's.
Oh,
Ah,
yes.
because
The Brown
the
Smith.
Brown Smith.
That is, there's
Black
something there.
Smith,
The Brown
yeah.
Smith.
Thank you, Jack. Yeah, so it seems to be like an interesting.
It just sounds like a guy who's really good at farting or like
Brown
playing.
Smith.
He's the Brown Smith.
Yeah.
Like, can you smell that? Oh, I can. What is that? That's from Brown Smith. I think it's. You're looking at a team now, the Newcastle Knights. They tend to be retreating back.
The team in flux.
Yeah, in
Have we accidentally just had another rebuild?
Well, very
Yeah,
much.
the third one in 10
so
years.
many rebuilds. So,
insane.
it seems like we found ourselves already knee deep in a rebuild before they even announced it. No one's mentioned the
didn't
word
finish the
rebuild.
build.
No, yeah, it's just it seems
It's
like
just that Monty Python scene.
yeah. As you
Oh, we
said,
rebuilt the Knights, and we came last. And we rebuilt it again.
what's
And we're
that?
probably going to come last.
What's that from? Was that the,
Life, bloody Holy Grail.
Holy Grail.
You're in the castle.
Yeah.
So we built the castle in a swamp, and keeps falling down.
I guess falling down.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the humour there. But also Newcastle have bolstered dummy half depth with another new signing.
Yeah.
Lismore, basically a suburb of Newcastle, according to the bean counters in their ivory
Yeah.
towers.
Yeah.
Again,
Play for
what
the
the
Dolphins.
hell?
Mr.
How
Harrison.
do you keep up with that?
Mr.
Look,
Harrison Graham, never
have a
trust a
quick-
man with two first names.
Quick look at Harrison Graham's stats there. He's an American serial killer who murdered 7 women in...
Yeah.
Josh, can we check Wikipedia?
Is this not the right one?
That's
Is
apparently
that
not the right
That's
Harrison.
sorry,
Sorry,
Joust.
here it is, here it is,
That's
here
the different Harrison
Different one,
Graham.
That
different
is a Harrison Graham.
No, sorry, yeah, this Harrison Graham is 23 years old, born in Lismore, and
my
famously not serving a life sentence.
He's played a few
Apologies,
games for the
Jousters.
Dolphins this year. 5 games, 2 tries, coming off the bench each time. That's
That's pretty good.
That's something.
That's something.
Yeah. So and
He
he's
just looks like Matt Arthur, though. We already
he
have
does.
that.
He
He's
looks
Matt
like
Arthur with a cleary chin.
a thicker Arthur.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
For
He's-
those listening at home, he's 13 stone.
they still offer the stone. Yeah, he does.
Well, they do, because it's right there. What
13
is 1 stone?
stone,
Can we
1
quickly
pound.
do a... How much weight is 1 stone,
1 stone.
please?
How much does a stone?
Because I want to know
weigh?
how much 13 of them is. What an odd measurement.
They
Because
have the-
stones are so...
Don't they have the equivalent right there?
So 1 stone in... Oh, yeah, it did, but I just wanted to make Josh work for it.
6.3 kilograms.
So he's 13 times 6.3 kilograms.
Yeah, what an easy way to count weight. Yeah.
the Imperial. There's a lot of people who have a lot of things to answer for.
I don't even know who you're insulting. I think it's just Fatty Morton that still uses that.
Stone, yeah.
Hey, we don't insult Fatty Morton on this show.
No, never.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, 83 kilos. 5'10".
5'10".
It
Yeah,
seems to be
that's pretty
it
cool.
seems to be playing, but NRL coming here on a development contract. Welcome Harrison Graham to the club in 2026. They'll have to bring a bus in to welcome all these new players. We have you have a players' day, and you go see the stars of the club.
Love to have a players' week.
This is players' week. I haven't met this person before. Who are you?
Mostly
Apparently,
spares, though, at that point.
it seems like
true.
a lot of spares.
That's it. They don't let the good ones go to the.
We
the
have
fan
really dove deep into people playing both Queensland and New South Wales Cup. That we have that has been seems to be where we're signing all the players from.
You got to. You have to.
Surely it's sort of like a bargain.
Cross-border experience.
Bargain bin, eventually you're going to find something that's worth a bit of money, but a lot of it is things that people are throwing away.
Yeah,
they don't really want.
The bargain bin. One man's trash is another man's also trash.
Yes.
Yeah. But this one was a fun one to have a look at now.
Yeah.
We like to slag off the bean counters in the ivory tower. The Sydney Morning Herald have joined us.
Yes.
Neil Breen, the NRL's boss of football, has had
Neil Breen.
a stinker of a year. It might be time for the sin bin now. Mr. Breen, he brings it up. We had the crackdown on the play the ball. We had the crackdown on head-high tackles.
That's right.
Where all of a sudden, we went from binning 18 players in 1 week to 2 players the next.
Yes.
The problem was fixed.
Yep.
I say Annesley's doing a great job. He's about to have his 3rd crackdown of the year.
Yep.
They've all worked.
Yeah,
the play the ball's as clean as it's ever been. No one gets hit in the head anymore.
No, that's
the
right.
crackdowns are fixing rugby league.
Now we've the crackdown, the blocking. That's going to be fixed.
Crackdown on the blocking
next week.
Yet
Yeah.
another way to make rugby league better.
Yeah.
Crackdown on something you already cracked down on and banned from the game.
You'd think,
The reverse crackdown.
some would assume that if there was rules of a game that are enforced correctly, that you don't need to have any crackdowns whatsoever.
Aggie.
But they would be fools.
Aggie.
They would be fools. They haven't never seen a game of rugby league.
You've been around rugby league your whole life. You know that that's not.
If you watch one game in round 1 and another in round 11, there could be 2 very different sets of rules you're playing under.
Well, even in bloody when they had the crackdown on the head highs, it didn't have to go from 1 to 11. You went from round 9 to round 10.
That's right.
That was a very fighty crackdown.
One week is a very long time in rugby league.
It is.
Very, very long time. In those 4 days where there's no rugby league happening whatsoever, a lot can happen. A lot of pressure where they say, hang on, what is Graham Annesley going to do about this? And he goes there and he tells all his referees and he says, listen, guys, if you see any of this, just send them
Crack
off.
it down.
Just send them. Ruin the game for everyone that's coming and seen it. And they say, are you sure? And he says, do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they say, what about next week? He says, forget about it. We're just doing this once and once only because it's really going to leave a bad smell about the game if we keep doing it.
Basically, before the game, he calls up Ash Klein and just goes, fuck it, you'll do it live.
Yeah, you do it live.
do it live.
Yeah, go with your feel.
But notably, of course, Annesley quite distastefully stopped giving his Monday press conferences this year.
Yeah, rightly so.
Because I think it was stupid.
Yeah.
He was just going out every week and said, yeah, we were wrong about this.
Yeah, but he often
It doesn't fix anything.
Yeah, I support the decision of the referee.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, who cares?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You've ruined the experience. The whole thing. Someone thought they were in the professional sport business. They're in the entertainment
It
business.
is the entertainment business.
And they fail to entertain. The people leave there. They're ticket holders. They go home. They go, I'm really, really disappointed.
The
What I saw.
hard-working people spending half of their bloody paycheck on a burger at a funny footy ground.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, taking the family out.
Yeah.
Burger too.
Yeah, shit
Yeah.
burgers, shit food, shit experience, watching a shit game.
Full-strength beers now, though.
And I'll
That's
tell you
pretty
what,
good.
Graham Annesley coming out on Monday saying, sorry, we got it wrong, offers no condolences whatsoever.
It makes it worse.
Makes
for
it
the team
worse.
That lost. It's
It's-
like, well, now you've just incensed me. I
Yeah.
was sad.
And
now I'm sad and incensed.
I'm cross.
I'm furious. I'm going to have a little tanty.
A little tandy.
Just a little tanty.
Call up some, write an angry post on Facebook.
I'd forgotten about Annesley's existence, to be fair.
Yeah. It hasn't been very visible.
No, it's
no.
probably for the best after everything he copped this year. But it's time to crack down on the men who make the crackdowns.
Now, so
Who's cracking down on the crackdowners?
I don't know. The Coast
Someone
Guard.
needs to crack down.
Now, Liam, we saw it back in the mid 2000s. There was a brand new thing we hadn't seen, and then 2 players started wearing it. And that was the classic surfboard brace at the back of the neck.
Yeah,
Where we had
Brent Tate.
Brent Tate
Who was
and
the
then
other one?
Dallas Johnson as well.
Oh,
they
he
both
wore a surfboard.
Yeah, they both had the surfboard, both in Queensland, and they both had the surfboardy brace at the back to stop their
Dallas
neck.
Johnson needed one on his head because he
Yeah,
got
he
concussed
cussed a
every
lot.
day.
Yeah, hopefully he's all
Every
right.
day of his life.
And but now we saw a brand new. I was going to say apparatus. It's not really apparatus. It's more of an appendage that the players are wearing, and these are the goggles.
The goggles. Now, Nagy, I'll pull you up there because this, funnily enough, is not brand new. Marion Seve, for those that Didn't see it in the weekend. The Melbourne Storm versus the Penrith Panthers rugby league game. Marion Seve, in order to protect his eyes, wore a pair of NRL-approved goggles.
Yes.
Now, that stirred a memory in me.
Okay.
2019, the Rugby World Cup, Nagy. Cast your eyes back. Your mind. Cast your
mind back, yeah.
Rico Ioane, no, not Rico Ioane. Artie Savia was known for not having very good eyesight. And so he went to the World Rugby Board, IRB or whatever they are, and he said, I'd like to wear some prescription goggles in the game. And I was like, this is groundbreaking. Players with visual impairments will be able to play the game. And he wore them for one game and said, this is shit, I'm never wearing them again. Never wore them again.
Can't you wear contact lenses? Can you not do that?
See, that was very common in rugby union in the 80s and 90s. There'd be 3 or 4 breaks in the game to try and find someone's contact lens.
It's flown out of their skull.
1991 Rugby World Cup final,
Yep.
I wore that VHS into the ground. There was a stoppage in the game to find one of the English second rows contact lenses. So, but of course, it was very brave of Marion. But something interesting as well, my dad went down for the annual North Sydney Bears Newcastle Knights McNeil Bowl at North Sydney. And he came back after that day and he said, there was a fella wearing goggles in this game.
Yeah.
And I said, you're a crazy old man. I didn't. And it was Marion Seve. He was wearing them for the Bears a couple of weeks ago. So
now, it's good that he's...
an injury, I think, to
Well,
the eye.
he's got an injury to the eye, so
prescription
to protect the eye. But your eyes are pretty vulnerable regardless of an injury previous.
Well,
it only takes
punched while you're wearing a goggle. You're still getting punched.
Guys are wearing spiked shoes. You're running into each other at 1,000 miles an hour. You've got these two organs there.
Elbows and knees.
Who are only been protected with a thin layer of skin that flops down occasionally.
A viscous mucus.
Anything can happen to your eye. Effectively, everyone should be wearing these goggles
It's
if we're
amazing
being serious.
that every person's not blind.
Look, they're just there. Anyone can just poke away from blindness permanently. So it seems like these goggles might be a good idea for him because he's got an eye injury. He doesn't want to happen again. He's only got the 2 eyes.
So how have humans not evolved to have perfect eyesight for everyone?
Well, I don't know. Was another?
Everyone should have perfect eyesight.
Yeah.
We've been evolving eyes
Yeah.
since the bloody... What was before humans?
Yeah, I don't
fish.
know. I don't know, fish.
Since the fish. They've got eyes. They've
They
always
got
had
eyes, yeah,
eyes.
they've got eyes.
Why don't human eyes work perfectly?
I've got a bit of a. If I was going to be fixing something, and we're going to fix it, but
Oh, no, we got bigger
this is
things
more
to
of an
fix than
inquiry
this.
that I think it will baffle the brain. And we'll leave it.
Is this a crackdown now?
Not really a crackdown. It's more of a complaint against genetics and just
Yeah.
everything. So if you have an eye problem and you get struck in the eye, let's say that I had a steak.
twig, maybe?
Let's say I had a steak knife and I jammed it into my own eye. Right, that eye will never see again.
So Nagy let the intrusive thoughts win.
It's gone. Now, I understand that my body can't make that eye repaired. However, if I was a woman that gave birth to a child, they've created an eye within them. Their
Why
body
could you not create just the eye?
Their body is capable of creating an eye, but they can't repair 2 eyes. Their body can't repair their existing eye.
Are you saying we need to industrialize women's bodies so we can basically use the
No,
uterus to
I'm
grow
just-
organs?
More eyes.
Are you saying we need to harvest organs from babies?
I'm just saying, Liam, if your body's capable of repairing it by making a brand new one.
Just knock one up over the weekend.
As a man, I have no complaints. But if I was a woman, I would be saying, hang on a second.
So I don't want the whole thing.
I can create it.
I've got legs and arms of my own. I don't need legs and arms on this thing.
Why can't I repair it? It makes no sense. It's like if you pulled your tooth out. If you're young, you go, don't worry, another one's coming.
Yeah.
Second one, you pull out, they go, that's it.
Nothing coming back.
That's it. Why? Why?
There's no room. We're not sharks, Nagy.
Anyway, my complaint against everything. So
Anyway, good for Marion Seve for bucking the trend and being the trailblazer for glasses in rugby league.
Lead to play us into halftime before we come back and talk about everything Newcastle Knights. Is our musical guest again for this week, Mr. Juicy Dangle.
And he'll see you, sawdust free too, eyes open under the sea. No myopia, and he knows just what it takes to dodge the snow slush. All the boys think he looks fly, protecting Marion Seve's eye. Oh, beautiful. Canavitano is here to stay. Canavitano is on his way. And I wouldn't rather. Sorry, let's do it again. What the fuck?
When you were doing that, I thought you were encouraging us to sing along.
Alright, one more time. Whenever you're ready. Alright. Cannavitano is here to stay. Cannavitano is on his way, and I wouldn't rather be anywhere else than here today.
Thank you, Mr. Sedangle.
His first name.
Joust. Joust Sedangle. It one bright point of the Newcastle Knights.
There was one?
Yeah. Well, that's
I can't wait to find out what this bright point is.
well, it's just we're waiting for so long to see Cannavitano
Yes.
in the fullback jersey.
God,
and
the
we've
poor
had-
kid. He was
Yeah.
fed to the wolves.
And also,
Jesus Christ.
it came in with such pressure to score a try because coming from the lineage, if you
That's
will.
it. Early hats back on Jack Cogger.
Yeah.
Why did you throw that pass so poorly,
Yeah,
Jack?
yeah, and another time as well.
Talking right to you.
Yeah, down the right-hand side as well. There was another opportunity for Cannavitano to score a try. It just seems like it
Because
was...
the Knights fullbacks of recent years have had
Yeah.
such a knack for scoring on debut. Obviously, you had Kalen Pong in that famous game against Manly. You
Yep.
had David fucking Armstrong in that famous game against whoever it was that he scored against.
David from the
Fletcher
Broncos,
Sharp
yeah.
scored 14 tries in his debut game.
That's right.
And Connor had to go and ruin that streak.
Well, he tried his best. He was
He
there.
did, he
He did all the things.
He did all the things. Unfortunately, Jack the Colt did not.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Cowboys put a bullet through us. Now, Liam...
They put the whole magazine of a Thompson submachine
Machine
gun
gun,
through
yeah.
us. It was not one bullet. No.
less than 3 seconds. That's... And we spoke about the hoodoo leading up to this game. We haven't won up there in 10 years, and it certainly felt like it watching the team play.
It's like they've never been there before.
When I was looking at this game and the performance, it was the most frustrating thing, Liam, because if we look back to the Brown era kind of thing, we couldn't get we couldn't get the A's and B's close enough to even think about the C's and D's. This is where we just got the A.
Just plugging out an X and a Q,
No.
and there's a T over there.
This, as you said, we get the nice break there by Jack Cogger. Just needs to pass inside. That's the part that fails. It seems like we were just...
And the worst part, he's a halfback. That's his job.
It was like the
It's his
play
job.
the play that went wrong. It was the game that went wrong. It was just to give us a little skerrick of hope that there might be somewhat of a contest here, and it just falls to pieces at that moment. It's showing that this is what we could be doing, and we're just failing at every hurdle.
Well, we talked about in the Canberra loss how that was a flogging that didn't feel like a flogging.
Yeah.
This was a flogging that felt like a much worse flogging. This
yeah.
didn't feel like a 38-4 flogging. This felt like a
68.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
32 missed tackles by the Cowboys, 46 missed tackles by the Knights. That's NYC numbers.
Yeah.
That is Holden National Youth Competition numbers.
Now,
defense is off the table. Those are usually the best games.
Any keen jouster would know that I try to push forward a bit of a theorem.
You've lulled me in with your positivity the last few weeks, and I wish you hadn't.
Of victory is when you score... when you complete at over 80%, and then you make less than 10 errors, typically you're going to win the game. The Cowboys completed at under 70%. They made
completed below 65. Can we just
Liam.
take back Mr. Josh to the numbers?
Absolutely.
23 errors the Cowboys made.
That's so many.
And they scored
Jeez.
38 points.
Oh, 21 ineffective. How did that team win by so much?
Yeah, they just
hell?
managed to do it. It was
God,
an
that sucked to watch.
absolute garbage fire. Now, Liam, is this a team made up of a lot of personnel that knowing they're not going to be at the club next year and just basically given up? Don't want to put
It
their body
must
on the
be.
line.
I don't know what it is, but I think, they've just who gives a shit anymore now.
They're not looking forwards, backwards on forwards, twirling, always twirling. They're just twirling. They're
just doing the twirling.
They're just doing the twirling.
They're leaving the backwards and the forwards out of it, and just the twirling, always twirling.
You also noticed there an interesting stat as 3 intercepts. You don't usually see that bar being so high.
In a whole round. You don't see that in a whole round of footy.
3 intercepts purely by the Cowboys over the Knights. They just absolutely, they took us to lunch.
It was
out
a
there.
stinker.
They
They took us to lunch. They took off our diaper. They smacked us. Said, "Go back home. You're finished with your lunch."
Yeah,
They didn't even give us lunch.
no, we went away hungry for points. And again, 11th time this season that we were at 0 at half
That
time.
is way too many times.
Yeah.
That's like, what round are we up to?
20.
It's almost half.
Yeah,
It's almost half of the games the Newcastle Knights have played. They've failed to register a point in the first half.
Yeah.
In this one, only one try in each in all of the halves that they played in.
In some other games, we score points in the first half, don't score in the second.
No.
So
Except when there was that famous run of junk time tries the Knights were scoring.
Oh, the consolation ones.
The consolation tries.
Yeah.
And then it became every try for the Knights is a consolation
Basically,
try.
yeah.
This one, consolation try, of course.
Yeah.
Who scored? I don't even remember.
Yeah. Dom Young.
Oh, good for Dom. Well
he did score. That was, I'm not misremembering that. But it didn't keep us in the game whatsoever. Of course, we didn't make the conversion. Absolute piss. It was. It was a very, very hard game to watch. And you think, it's all the way up there in North Queensland, and as we said, we don't win games up there, but at least we could try to compete. We can
have a go.
We can make it look
we
like.
We can have a red hot go.
Yeah, maybe 18 minutes in, Reece Robinson gets sin binned. You think,
let's be worse.
Yeah, let's be.
What a great idea. Let's be worse.
Let's be actually worse when it's 12 on 13. It just seems like a much, much more talented side than when we were playing so badly in the spoon eras.
That's what makes it hurt the most.
Yeah.
Was in the Brown years especially, it was like
no talent.
It's just a bunch of young tackers who have been thrown in there doing their best.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're still sitting on that.
I think it does illustrate how tight this competition is, that if you fall off a little bit, you fall off a cliff. And
I don't think I'd say the Knights have fallen off a little bit.
No. If you fall off a little bit as far as, effort or you can have the talent on the field, but unless everything is clicking, then you may as well not be there.
Which, of course, is this harken back to our brave Captain Dane Gagai's statement last week. That
team
it's
of
a
individuals.
Bunch of individuals as opposed to a team of men.
Certainly doesn't feel like a team. Looking and it's individual efforts are still there. You look at the stats; they're still.
That's it. I don't think we'd say the players maybe aren't trying.
No,
they're just not all pulling in the same direction.
That's right. I think that's probably fair. They're pulling in a
they're
different.
All just in a corner, just pulling themselves off.
They're all gonna
pull the rest of the boys off.
They're in a hula hoop and they're all running in different directions, so we're not moving at all.
You don't see much hula hooping anymore.
No.
Is it because we're not as carefree as we were in the 90s, Nagy?
Potentially.
With the amount of cares and hate and fuming out in the world.
Well,
does that mean hula hooping is dead as a sport?
Hula hooping, you had to be bad at it for a little while, but then within maybe half an hour to an hour, you've mastered it. So
and
it
then
was
what
a bit
else
of
do you do?
I don't. You just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Bit of fun. Show it to someone else. Can you do this?
Now we're not allowed fun anymore. Not in this world.
No, you can't go outdoors anymore because it's raining every day. It's just been
stat line is just grim.
It's really hurting us. It hurt to watch. It was one of the very few games, Liam, that I was like, I want to turn this off.
Yeah,
and
but we didn't.
We
soldiered. Oh no, I think I was watching it on delay because of my work, and I still watched the whole thing. And I really, really wish I hadn't.
You were working on a Sunday? Was that right?
Oh, no, it was Sunday. Yeah, forget
Sunday.
it. I don't know what day of the week it is anymore. No, I wasn't watching it on delay. I was watching it live, and it was
watching
terrible.
it live. It was terrible.
Very good.
Yeah.
No.
I was watching it on streaming.
Yeah.
Slight delay. It was like a minute and a half delay. So I was getting text messages just telling from people saying, God, the Knights are shit. And then I'll be like, oh, no. And then I have to watch it happen in front of me. Go, oh, this is what they're talking about.
And
oh,
you'd say,
no.
just like the prophecy told me.
Yeah. Basically, I was friends with 12,
I'm getting messages from Nostradamus.
12 psychics that just like, oh, the Knights are going to be shit immediately. Or tune in, watch it. It was absolutely painful to watch. But Liam, we have to dig deep within ourselves, and I know you don't want to give one, but I would give a hats off for this week.
Hats off. Hats off. Hats off.
Now, this is a player that came onto the scene quite early in the season, and I didn't think there was much to him. It's Jermaine McEwen, who gets our hats off for this week.
Is this
for a
thrice
second
in a row?
It could be twice.
I think it's thrice.
It's at least twice.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was much to him. I thought he was just going to be one of those forwards that sort of get thrown in there because we don't have anyone else. But he seemed to find his spot there in the back row. As far as effort and acceleration into the line,
that's it. His physicality when he hits the line is really, really quite something. He launches into contact.
Yeah.
And he launches himself into contact. It's that square-shaped head.
Yes, yeah.
He's got a cube for a noggin.
Square head.
Throwing it around. But he's been great. I think he's been a real fine
shining light, I think, yeah. And he's sort of playing with that sort of enthusiasm because it's his first year. When you've got other players around writing the season off going, can we just get to Bali already? He's like, no. Every minute on the field, I'm really, really enjoying.
Yeah, that's it. He seems to be feeding off the bottom feeder energy that we're putting out.
And I think you rightly pointed out last week when we were looking at KPP, moving on to the Tigers next year.
That hole's plugged.
I think it is.
I wonder how effective he'll be on the right, though.
I think Tyson Frizzell still holds that spot. Do you think, or do you think?
Well, yeah, because Phoenix will be locked next year, so Frizzell will be on the right.
Yeah, probably.
Jermaine McEwen off the bench. Yep, grand. Oh, he'd be great off the bench.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I think he can play off the bench. I think he can start in the back row. He just plays with lots of energy, and he looks like he really, really wants to be in this team. Unlike a lot of people that have been told to give them their marching orders.
Yeah.
And I don't really blame those people. How do you put in 100% and really play as a team when everyone is fucking off in a few weeks?
And in an attempt to not talk about this game, we didn't really get any other hats offs, but I want to put a hat left on to Connor Vitano because I don't want to take my hat off to him because there was errors in the game.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to put my hat back onto him because he's a first-game fullback coming into a losing team who are basically fighting for the spoon.
Yep.
The boy did his damn best.
It was a jib cut. You like that?
It was another good jib cut, It was very
sharp.
Fletcher Sharp-esque jib that he has.
Yes.
He certainly was trying.
Certainly was.
He dropped the ball a fair few times,
He
but a
certainly
lot of
did.
those weren't his fault.
No.
Jack Cogger threw it at his head. Who's going to catch that?
That's right. You can't.
Who's going to catch that?
Can't do
Someone
it.
tackled him in the air?
That's
Who's
right.
going to catch that?
No, you can't
So
do it.
I hope that wasn't a bit of a shock to the confidence of Connor Vitano. It was a real welcome to the NRL moment, that whole game for the poor bugger.
Yeah.
But I hope it doesn't dent his confidence because I've got a lot of exciting feelings about him.
Trying to summarise our disappointment, Liam, in a movement. I've got all hats back on.
Yeah, you put your hat on.
Putting the hat back on could be for the whole game, but I've narrowed it down to one particular
You've
player.
distilled it down.
Yeah, distilled
Nagy.
it down. Yeah, like an alcohol that to
Or you can
soothe.
distill water.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's all the liquids you can distill. So my frustration was distilled down into one player, and now this player is sort of on the cusp of representative
He's been
football.
cusping for rep footy for so long.
Can't
now.
really put a season together, and this is Scotty Belalacqua, Mr. Drinkwater himself, and he just tore us to pieces.
He's such an exciting player.
He is.
He should have been part of the memorandum of the understanding for the Knights that we are supposed to get Central Coast players.
And he
shouldn't be playing up in North Queensland.
No, he's from New South Wales.
He's from Gosford, I think. He's
Is
another
he?
Central Coastie.
Is he really?
Might be Terrigal, but he's a Coastie.
Ah, fuck.
I know.
Yeah,
Isn't
he's
that
playing
just?
all-
Don't you hate it?
Playing great football all the way up there.
Is that why he played so well? He's like, you guys didn't get a memorandum of understanding to me. I'm going to fuck your team right up.
Every time he got the ball, he made us look silly. It was like one of those players that just seemed like he was playing at a different speed, and he could even make mistakes, and it didn't seem to bother him because he thought, it doesn't matter.
The way he was playing, it made me feel like Krusty when he bets on the Washington Generals.
He's
spinning the ball on his
finger. Come on.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah, he never seemed to be worried about the Newcastle Knights defence whatsoever. Scored, tried the start of the game, at the end of the game, and set up a bunch more. He just looked so comfortable.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
It was
I hate
disgusting to watch. And
Scotty eat bread.
Yeah, I really hate it. There was talks there after Jake Clifford came to the Knights that potentially were going after Scott Drinkwater as well.
That would have been sick.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Another fullback.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
Languishing
Is
down.
that game over, Nagy?
Yeah, it's over, Lim.
Oh, good.
We're languishing down there, dangerously close to the
I
Titans.
don't know if we're languishing. I think we're thriving.
Thriving
at the
down
bottom.
there.
Thriving and striving for last position.
If that was our goal to keep moving further and further down the ladder, gee, we're doing good. We're doing
so that's it. Re-sign AOB.
Can't fault us.
15 years. No move clauses.
just there hanging above the Gold Coast Titans, who are coming up against the Warriors, a team they have a very good record against. Which
And
is
the Warriors are sort of collapsing in upon themselves like a dying star as well.
yeah.
So
But Lima, we must look backwards, not forwards. Forwards, not backwards. Twirling, always twirling and twirling into Old Boys Day against the Brisbane
what
Broncos.
a great day Old Boys Day always is. I don't think the Knights have a good record on Old Boys Day though, do?
No, they do. A positive record. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
good.
especially in the last few years. We've played exceptionally well on Old Boys Day. But will it be enough to take out a bit of a hot and
it
cold
won't.
Broncos side?
Oh, but they've turned hot. Now that Reece Walsh is back, they've turned hot.
Now, an interesting thing brought up here just before half-time was that the Broncos decided to go to Maitland. And this shows shows just how far the Newcastle Knights are off the mark in terms of engaging with the community. They're hiding away. They're ashamed, Liam, possibly.
Yes,
because
definitely.
The Brisbane Broncos
They'll have eggs thrown at them in the street.
go all the way deep into another state. They go to Maitland, of all places, to have an open training session, and they attract 4,000 people from the
lot of
hundred to
people.
go see them. They can't all be from Brisbane, Liam. They're just excited to see a rugby league team engaging a bit with the community.
Yeah, because it seems like, again, we were talking about this within the room, within the confines of these four walls, that the Knights have really fallen off when it comes to community engagement in the last few years.
Just don't do it.
Do you think it's a case of What's that word where you think no one can stop you from doing something? Complacency.
Complacency.
Is it a
yeah,
sense, Snaggy, of complacency where the Knights,
Yeah.
powers that be, they've said, look, they're going to turn up to the games.
Win, lose, or
they're going
draw.
to buy the jerseys.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we need to do.
20,000 people
Have
coming.
Have
Yeah.
one game every 2 weeks at home. Maybe sell the jerseys for $350.
Yeah.
10 people might buy them.
That's
all we've got to do.
We're back in profit,
and we'll
boys.
sell out every week.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, it's sort of like, if you're successful, why advertise? Yeah, and so they seem to be like, oh, well, people are rocking up.
Well, I don't know. Coca-Cola still does a lot of advertising and outreach.
Yeah, there's something that doesn't advertise. Chinese restaurants, they never advertise.
I asked one of my old bosses about that. I was like, because he was big into marketing. He was a marketing guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on marketing.
Yes.
Just to stay open.
Yeah.
They've been open for 25 years. I didn't even know the name of the joint. It's like, because they pay no one.
They pay no one.
They don't pay anyone. They've got no advertising bill.
Good product.
And they've got 400 items on the menu made of 7 things.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it.
I was very embarrassed. I showed my caucasity once. I was at a Chinese restaurant. They put a bowl of a liquid in front of me. I had a couple of scoops. Like, I said to the waitress, she was
delicious.
an elder lady. I said, this is great. What's this soup? She goes, oh, it's gravy.
I thought you were going to say it's for dipping the
it's
fingers.
not just great. Like, what kind of gravy? She's like, it's just turkey gravy.
Turkey gravy.
Oh.
From the.
It was great. I ate the whole bowl with a spoon. Just
You
ate
are a
bowl
fan of
gravy.
salt, though, Liam. So if
Love
anything
salt.
with a bit of the old
Yeah.
seasoning in it,
Yeah.
I think would have really tickled
And you,
your
for
fancy.
years, you and Cass tried to tell me that the KFC salt was not just salt. It's a seasoning.
On the chips, you mean?
It's
Yeah,
a seasoning.
it's a seasoning.
He
yeah,
used to try and tell me this. He'd say, I'd ask for extra seasoning. He'd say, it's just salt. I was like, it's not just salt, Nagy. It's magic.
Magic. What they do with
Love
the chips.
the Colonel.
Big,
I don't know what they do to them.
big, thick chips.
They're a shit chip.
Do you think they're shit chips?
They're always undercooked and floppy.
Right.
But
But
it's the
It's
seasoning.
like a 1 in 8.
Yeah,
One in
yeah,
eight's good.
1 in 8.
1 in
I
8.
think that's a good one.
you think if you were telling KFC feedback, you say, just keep them down for another 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's all
just
you need.
20 seconds,
20 seconds.
Off perfection.
Yeah.
And add the extra seasoning.
It's the In-N-Out conundrum. In-N-Out's one of the best fast food restaurants in the US. Their food's amazing. It's very affordable.
Shit
They got
chips.
the best burgers, but their chips are shit.
Yeah.
What's the point? What are we doing here? Is that what we're fixing next week, Nag?
The shit chips. Liam,
No, you can't fix perfection.
can Old Boys Day, the spirit of Old Boys Day,
Are you trying to get me positive again, Nag?
can it bring us out of this?
Hats off.
Can the spirit of Old Boys Day, the
spirit of the game.
there it is, the spirit of Old Boys Day, bring us out of this to a team that we have, last 2 meetings, we haven't come away with any wins. Now, the form guide only goes back 5 games, but I'll tell you, Liam, we've
How
lost
many games is a...
6 we've lost in a row. The Broncos are on a win-loss. They did come off a win, so they are due for a loss if that pattern continues.
Or you get me hopeful again, Nagy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to hurt.
We'll be there cheering the boys on.
Good to see Connor Vitano's retained his spot. I mean, there's no one else to put there, so why not?
Yeah. Coming up against Reece Walsh now. Their backline's a little bit upset, but they do have the Nightmares of Christmas Past with Shibby that used to play
Queensland Origin legend, Shibby.
Yeah, Shibasaki, who was really bad when he played for us.
He was.
And
the
then-
other 18 clubs he played for before he got to the Broncos.
And now we've done the good luck Chuck Blessing, and now he's gone off to another club, and now he's playing Origin. Billy Walters is playing 5'8".
And playing out of his skin too at 5'8", actually.
Yeah. He's just gonna play really well against us. We just know this, unfortunately, is going to happen.
Reece Walsh is... Yeah.
Which one?
He's got an Australian jersey on the line.
Oh, Billy Walters, of course.
Well, that's it. Dad's coaching.
Dad's coaching.
You know?
It seems like it's going to make sense. We struggled really to put together a front row. It does seem like that Leo Thompson is playing nowhere near that sort of price tag that he went for the Dogs for. But he's going to be coming up against the likes of Patrick Carrigan, Payne Haas. It's Jordan Ricky. Like, this is just going to be a very, very difficult game for Newcastle Knights to
coaching
keep
masterstroke. You signed 3 separate hookers for next year. Who
Yeah.
are we starting? The one guy who's not going to be playing hooker next
That's
year.
right. Yeah, Phoenix Crossland
Jaden
is.
Bradley relegated to the bench.
Yeah, the
Why? Don't know. Sure.
Yeah.
You know, I guess so. Shuffle the deck chairs, Adam. The ship's going down, brother.
It's going to be a very, very difficult game to come through.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean that people are going to show up. Maybe the 4,000 people from Maitland will show up to be supporting the Broncos.
Now, I'm glad this popped up this game, actually, because I do have a familial connection to this game.
Okay.
Brisbane number 16, Ben Talty. Now, Ben's dad, Mick, is a dear friend of my father. They still catch up a few times a year. They played union together back in the early 80s. Now, Ben was... He's been rattling around reserve grade for years. He did 4 years of reserve grade at the Knights. Dad went and watched most of his games.
Yeah.
Did 3 years in reserve grade at the Bears. Dad would go down and watch his games. He'd always have a catch-up and say g'day. So to Ben Talty, bloody good on you. He finally debuted in first grade. He's 26, 27. So he's been banging around reserve grade for a long time.
Good to see him
and
getting
I
some
think he
first
scored
grade.
2 tries in the
very
3
good.
or 4 games he's played. So he's turning into quite a stalwart.
That
So
just
well
might-
done, Ben.
His try-scoring ability may just continue here
Yeah.
in Newcastle. It is our last game of the season at home.
I like
it
that
is
they've
the
got
old boys
Tyson
game.
Smoothie coming off the bench because I like that name.
It's a good name, doesn't it? Smoothie. It does seem like a game where you can go and if you're there to see really successful premiership winning players, you will see that. But then the whistle blows and then the Newcastle
And
Knights
then
run
they'll
out.
go off the field.
So
And, yeah.
they do the wave and you say goodbye premiership memory, goodbye, and they all go into a tunnel.
Will this be the week where we finally get up on Jordan Ricky anytime try scorer, Nagy?
I may or may not have a bit of a Jordan Ricky hope in my mind.
Obsession.
Well,
Every second weekend, you
Bit-
ask me, can you put anytime try scorer Jordan Ricky?
What's happened
Never
to-
once has it paid
What's
off.
happened to Arthurs there on the wing? He's
Matt
now
Arthur?
playing-
Oh, Jesse Arthurs.
Jesse Arthurs.
What has happened to him?
He's playing on the bench now for the Broncos. He's really
Which is
fallen
such
off.
an odd bench decision.
Say he started the season really well.
He's always been a really good winger, I thought. Anyway, but-
Liam, it's time for the fixes.
yes.
It's time for us to fix things, and we can't fix anything with our hands. We
No.
can fix concepts, and this concept this week, of course, is cues, or some people will call them lineups.
See, there's the first part of it. Do you call it a cue, or is
yeah.
that too sort of bending over to our British oppressors?
Yeah,
calling it a cue?
it's something that it's instilled in us. As you know, the British invented queuing because they simply didn't have enough of stuff to do, like stuff to give, and there was just too many people during the Industrial Revolution. So they had to form some sort of system to say, I was here first, I was here second, etc., etc. So you stand behind. Now, 2 things have happened in recent memory, Liam. One of those is COVID. You've turned a tight queue into a long queue.
Well, that's it. COVID really shook up our concepts of personal space.
yeah.
Now, how do you feel about going back to the old, dick on the bum in front of your person
Dick on the bum,
type
yeah,
queue,
yeah.
where everything's tight.
Yeah.
You're hearing the guy behind you's breath tickle the insides of your ear.
Some people didn't mind it.
Tight dick on the bum. I don't know.
Yeah. Dick on the bum. It was that was sort of like you'd give it you'd give it probably about 30 centimeters, but now some people going back half a meter.
But then I've just sort of started splitting the difference.
Yeah.
Because what was it, 1.5 meters? I go about
They
70,
used to be
75
75. Yeah,
centimeters,
you
I'll
were
give myself.
creeping
And I
back.
carry a ruler at
we
all
are,
times.
we are creeping back. Now, Liam, my problem with queues is the space sort of ownership. Now, there is when you run into someone in a queue, you're already lining up. You say, hey, you're coming to also do
Yeah.
this, to buy this service. I'm already queuing up. Would you like to go in front of me? Now,
Yes, very acceptable.
That
Within the
seems
spirit
to be
of the game. That's
pretty much
within the spirit of the
within
game.
the spirit of the queue. Now, but there are some people, some scallywags out there that will say,
Sociopaths, I
would
think.
you like to go behind me? That is not the space
slap
that you
in the
own.
face.
No. If you're gonna cut the queue, you also have to give up a place in the line.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't say everyone behind me just jump. You can't say
If you're letting someone in front,
Yeah.
that's a noble sacrifice.
Yeah.
If you're letting someone behind, you're just pissing off the person behind you, and you probably only let him in because you don't like him and you got a fart brew.
you have to say my dick, your bum, not
Not his dick and your bum.
not your dick, my bum. That seems to be the general
I'm sorry,
consensus.
is this week's episode called My,
My dick, your bum. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Now, and my other problem with queuing is where the queue cannot be formed, and we often see this at a bar where there might be just a few
Well, that's it.
people
That was the bane
approaching.
of every bartender's existence was the lack of queuing.
It's the bar and the deli. Now,
Yeah.
that's the 2 things where it's a cross, and then people all
It's
stand.
like a horizontal queue.
It's a horizontal queue, but then because the deli
well,
used
the
to have
deli's got it sorted. It's such an elegant solution. The deli pull
the ticketed system.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Not many delis have
Some
it anymore.
do. Woolworths Toronto's do it.
Really?
Woolworths Toronto, I think.
That used to at least give you a bit of security to know, well, I've got this number. They're going to call out that number. I'll say, yes, that's me. But instead, at the bar at the deli, they say, who was next? And people pause
Everyone
for a
looks
moment.
around. Oh.
And then there could be a genuine, yes, I was next, but you can't say that too quickly.
Nope.
So you have
You
to
look
say,
like an arsehole.
oh, I think I'm next. You know you're next. And then the worst thing that can possibly happen is someone that you know has come up. You've seen them in the periphery. You've already engaged them. And they say, oh, yes. And they start ordering. And you say, what the fuck are you doing? But you can't do anything. You have to just look at them and go,
Now, my least favourite was when someone had come up and you go, who was next out of the 2 people? And they both just point to the other guy. So
Point
I
to
think
the-
he was. It's like, No.
That's fine.
Get together, have a chat, get your shit together. I'll come back to you.
If they point and then they both do, oh no, please you go. You could, the server can choose that.
Yeah.
Because everyone's happy to go next.
Well-
like you can say, I'm happy to wait one more. But if someone just points and says, I know I'm not next, but I think I'm up next. No, you're not. Don't pretend. I think there should be a penalty. You should be able to.
Death, perhaps?
Reasonable amount of force, just a reasonable amount of violence. I'm not saying, assault this person.
Just a good duffing up, perhaps.
Flick on the nose. A point in the
Bullet
cheek.
in the brain.
Maybe just a firm hold of the shoulder, and just to ask the question. Were you next?
Were you really next?
Were you really next?
See, when I was...
Has this been a mistake in your mind?
In my heady days of bartending, I didn't have power over many things in my life.
Yeah.
The one thing I did have power over was choosing who was next.
Choosing who was next.
Yeah, so that I didn't ask people who's next. You're next,
You're
then
next.
you, then you.
Yeah.
Start again, you.
Yes.
I learned that one of the best bartenders I ever worked with.
Yes.
Sorry, I just reset for a second there. I remember saying, how do you control a busy bar? And I was like, I start there and I go across.
Go that way.
Then I go back and I go across. So it's genius.
Yeah.
So I dictated the queue,
When I was-
not the people in the queue.
When I was bartending, some people used to flash cash at me. We have a $50 note. I'm like, that's not going
doesn't help.
in my pocket.
Yeah.
I don't own these drinks.
Yeah.
So me selling more of them doesn't help me.
It does not affect me
Doesn't
at
help
all.
me at all. They
Yeah.
never tip those.
Did you ever
kind of
get
people.
whistled out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That or the bang on the bar or the when people think they're next.
I got a guy once, he yelled, "Hey, Beardy."
Beardy.
And I said, "You're last."
Yeah.
He was in a group of about 20 people and he was right near the front. He goes, "Hey, Beardy." I was like, "You're last."
Yeah.
I served every single person, including 3 or 4 people who had just walked up, and I served him last.
That's right.
You know why? Because I didn't have control over any other parts of my life except for that.
That's a reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a beard too, though.
Yeah. Also Beardy.
It's so weird.
The call was coming from inside the house, Liam. Now, someone with just the right amount of facial hair, but also is very, very fair with their scheduling queuing, is Mr. Kate Chesworth. That's
People are queuing up for his services.
Absolutely,
now.
they are. They can't get enough of him because all the appliances aren't working. If you have an appliance that you need fixing, you call the appliance guy, Mr. Kate Chesworth. He can fix anything, including your refrigeration, your air conditioning, all your white goods, all the different colours, Liam. And he does them fairly, promptly, and doesn't keep you waiting in a queue. And you can get in touch with him on this number.
0414 760 542.
Email, phone, all of those things.
Maybe next week we should fix the concept of white goods.
Yeah, white goods.
Because they're not purely white.
No,
you
different
see them
colours.
in stainless steel. We'll save it for next week.
save it
That's our
next
fixes
week.
for next week. We're going to fix white goods.
Hopefully, the Newcastle Knights can fix
I
their.
think that's his job, isn't it?
Ah, shit. Yeah, he's got us beat there.
The concept
Sorry,
of-
Kate. I didn't mean to horn in on your business there.
Hopefully next week we can fix the Knights' terrible run of form. Thank you, Mr. Brian Dennehy. The terrible run of form of the Newcastle Knights, and hopefully a miraculous win just to give us something.
Give us something,
We
Newcastle.
would
Give
love a
us
win so much
something.
more than Brisbane,
Oh.
and hopefully we can celebrate it together. If you like us, Joust, you can find us on all the social pipes, including Facebook, Instagram, Apple Tunes, YouTube, TikTok, and Spotify. But to play us out for this week, thank you very much for joining me, Liam. Thank you very much for the Joust team here. But to play us out for this week is our musical guest, once again, the Sex Siren from Newcastle, Mr. Juicy Dangle.
Ba-da-da-da.